everybody. What's up?
Amy Jo Johnson is a multi-talented American actress, singer, and filmmaker, best known for her iconic role as Kimberly Hart, the original Pink Ranger, in the hit 1990s TV series Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Born on October 6, 1970, in Dennis, Massachusetts, Johnson quickly became a pop culture favorite for her athleticism, charm, and relatable on-screen presence. After Power Rangers, she transitioned into more dramatic roles, notably starring as Julie Emrick in Felicity and Jules Callaghan in the Canadian police drama Flashpoint. These performances showcased her depth as an actress and earned her a loyal fanbase beyond her early action hero fame. In addition to acting, Amy Jo Johnson is a passionate musician and indie filmmaker. She has released several albums and directed films such as The Space Between and Tammy's Always Dying, proving her creative talents span far beyond the screen. Her work often blends emotional authenticity with a touch of humor, reflecting her own down-to-earth personality. Face mask acting career and evolution. Amy Jo Johnson's breakthrough as Kimberly, the Pink Ranger, wasn't just a lucky break. It was the perfect marriage of her real-life gymnastics background and natural charisma. She quickly became a standout character, and for many fans, the definitive Power Ranger. But Johnson wasn't content to stay typecast. After leaving Power Rangers, she honed her craft at the Lee Strasberg Theatre Institute and sought more grounded, character-driven roles. Her portrayal of Julie Emrick in Felicity earned her praise for emotional nuance, and her later role in Flashpoint as a skilled crisis negotiator allowed her to blend intensity with heart in a mature, critically acclaimed performance. Clapperboard director and filmmaker Johnson's passion for storytelling evolved into directing and screenwriting. She stepped behind the camera with her debut feature film, The Space Between, 2017. A heartfelt dramedy about grief, family, and the unexpected paths we take in life. The film received strong indie festival support and showcased Johnson's gift for subtle, human-centered storytelling. She followed that with Tammy's Always Dying, 2019, starring Felicity Huffman, a gritty, darkly comedic drama that further established Johnson's voice as a filmmaker unafraid to explore flawed, complicated characters. The film premiered at TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival, and received strong reviews. Musical work. Amy Jo is also a gifted singer-songwriter. Her music leans into folk and acoustic sounds, often reflective and introspective. She's released multiple albums, including Imperfect and Never Broken, and often played live shows in intimate settings, creating a strong bond with her audience. Her songs tend to focus on personal growth, love, and emotional resilience, mirroring her own life experiences. Sparkling heart connection with fans and the Power Rangers legacy. Despite moving on from the spandex suit, Johnson has always shown deep appreciation for her roots. She's embraced the Power Rangers fandom, participating in conventions and even honoring the franchise through her fan-film tribute project, Legend of the White Dragon, which she supported, though she chose not to appear in Netflix's 2023 anniversary special out of respect for her creative journey. She's also been vocal in supporting her late friend and co-star, Jason David Frank, after his passing in 2022, showing that her ties to the original team go far beyond TV. Glowing star now and beyond today, Amy Jo Johnson continues to write, direct, and occasionally act, choosing projects that align with her values and creative vision. She's also working on a graphic novel, Power Rangers: The Return, which she co-wrote, putting her own spin on the world that launched her career. Amy Jo Johnson's story is one of evolution, from TV hero to serious artist. She's proven that it's possible to honor your past while forging a bold, independent future. personal growth and life philosophy. Amy Jo Johnson has been open about her journey through personal challenges, including grief, self-discovery, and the pressure of early fame. She's spoken candidly in interviews about losing her mother at a young age, which had a profound effect on her worldview and emotional expression, something that shines through in her music and filmmaking. She often talks about the importance of living authentically and not letting external expectations dictate your path. This attitude guided her decision to step away from mainstream Hollywood and embrace the indie route, where she could tell stories on her own terms. She's also an advocate for mental wellness, often using her platform to talk about therapy, healing, and creative expression as tools for self-care. Behind the scenes as a director and writer, Amy Jo isn't just directing indie films. She's writing, producing, casting, and often even fundraising for them. She's part of a new wave of actor-turned-directors who are building their own creative ecosystems. Her directing style is intimate, often character-driven, with a strong emphasis on emotional nuance and realism. She's known to create a collaborative, actor-friendly environment on set, where vulnerability is welcome and authenticity is key. In 2023, she announced a particularly exciting creative project, Power Rangers: The Return, a Boom Studios comic series she co-wrote. It's an alternate universe story where an older Kimberly comes out of retirement, adding depth and maturity to a character that was once a teenage icon. This project gave her a chance to reimagine the Pink Ranger mythos through a more personal lens. Musical notes. Her music, albums and themes. Johnson's music often feels like pages from a journal, raw, acoustic, and emotionally honest. She's released 3 albums: The Trans-American Treatment, 2001, her debut album, recorded after moving to Los Angeles, reflects early feelings of transition, heartbreak, and hope. Imperfect, 2005, a more polished but still deeply personal collection that touches on themes of self-acceptance, change, and vulnerability. Never Broken, 2013, inspired by her life in Canada and personal growth, this album is reflective and rooted in resilience. She performs guitar and vocals and occasionally shares live acoustic performances on social media. Her sound is often compared to artists like Sarah McLachlan or Jewel, lyrical, tender, and grounded. Globe life in Canada and dual citizenship. After years in Los Angeles, Amy Jo moved to Toronto and embraced Canadian life. She even became a Canadian citizen. Living outside of Hollywood gave her space to grow as a creator and mother, while still staying connected to the industry, especially through Canadian TV productions like Flashpoint, which was both a critical and personal success. Her time in Canada also shaped her storytelling, bringing a more grounded, human quality to her films and a broader perspective on the industry. People holding hands. Fan relationships and authenticity. Unlike many celebrities who maintain a certain distance, Amy Jo has always made an effort to stay real with her fans. She's known for her warmth at fan conventions and her willingness to engage with people on social media, often posting funny behind-the-scenes memories, thoughts on aging, or honest reflections on her career. She doesn't shy away from nostalgia, but she also isn't afraid to poke fun at it, which makes her incredibly relatable. Her balance of gratitude and groundedness is part of what's made her a lasting figure in pop culture. Dizzy. Final thought. Amy Jo Johnson is a rare kind of celebrity, someone who started out in a mainstream, pop culture juggernaut and quietly transformed herself into a respected artist, storyteller, and mentor. She didn't chase fame, she chased meaning, and in doing so, built a career that's as inspiring as it is impressive. Creative spirit and artistic control. Amy Jo Johnson has always been more than just an actress. She's a true multi-hyphenate: actress, director, singer-songwriter, screenwriter, producer, and even comic book writer. What makes her stand out is how fiercely she protects her creative freedom. She's repeatedly chosen passion projects over big paychecks, putting authenticity first. She self-financed her debut film, The Space Between, through crowdfunding on Indiegogo, where she personally thanked backers with performances, live chats, and updates. That personal touch is part of what makes her so beloved. She invites her audience into the creative process rather than putting herself above it. Open Book Power Rangers. The Return, the graphic novel in 2024, Amy Jo co-wrote Power Rangers, The Return, a limited-run comic book for Boom Studios. It's a bold, emotional, and mature take on Kimberly Hart, showing her as an adult grappling with loss, purpose, and her legacy as a former Ranger. It was not just a nostalgia play, it was her way of reclaiming the character on her terms. This was especially significant because she declined to appear in Netflix's Once and Always Power Rangers special. Not out of disrespect, but because she wanted to honor her character's growth in a different, more meaningful way. Fans appreciated this, especially once they saw the creative depth of her comic. How's her life off-screen? Amy Jo Johnson is a mother and often credits her daughter for changing her perspective on life, fame, and career. While she keeps her family life relatively private, she's spoken about the importance of raising a child outside the bubble of celebrity culture. She's now based in Toronto, where she leads a quiet but creatively rich life. She's known to hike, meditate, practice yoga, and focus on wellness and mindfulness. These aspects of her lifestyle often trickle into her storytelling, emphasizing emotional truth, self-awareness, and the messy beauty of being human. Glowing star cultural legacy. Let's talk impact. Amy Jo Johnson was the first female superhero many young girls ever saw on screen in the early 90s, and she did it in pink spandex with strength, empathy, and heart. Kimberly wasn't just a token girl character, she was athletic, funny, brave, and often the emotional glue of the team. She inspired a generation of girls to see themselves as capable and powerful. Even now, her Pink Ranger legacy remains iconic. From cosplays at Comic-Con to reboots and tribute fanfilms, Kimberly Hart is a character who never faded. And that's largely thanks to Amy Jo's performance. Her blend of grit, grace, and sincerity made the character unforgettable. Sparkle's fun and lesser-known facts.
Bye bye.